Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
Hey, I'm Holt Nailers. No one knows better than me how important it is as a quarterback to have protection on the field to be successful. My frontline team is critical to my success. For your frontline insurance protection, you need the team at Buck Insurance Agency. Buck Insurance Agency is your local team, and I've been helping customers like you for over 30 years with their insurance needs. When you need insurance protection, you'll get the whole team with Brian Buck and his staff. Call toll-free at 877-357-1966. Go Pirates.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Come and explore great shopping in downtown Washington at Naughty Life. Hi, this is Gina from Naughty Life, and new fall merchandise is arriving every day, featuring all the new Yeti products, like the loadout buckets and waterproof dry duffel bags. We have new fall clothes for men, women, and children. At Naughty Life, we have something perfect for any occasion, like new jewelry and a great selection of sunglasses from Costa, Reflect, and RCI. Visit Naughty Life on Main Street in historic downtown Washington, and like us on Instagram and Facebook.
Hey Pirates, this is Holt Nailers. A big part of my success on the field is what I eat at home. To keep my body fueled up, I order meals off a Clean Eats meal plan. I choose the meals I want from 6 different meals offered each week, and I pick them up on Sunday or Monday at the cafe on Red Banks Road. Each meal is packed with the perfect mix of healthy proteins, carbs, and veggies to keep my engine running at full speed. Go to cleaneats.com, click on meal plans, or stop by the cafe and get all the info. Clean Eats and the Pirates, a winning combination.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern Carolina's longest-running sports radio show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show is powered by Greenville Utilities and also brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Papa John's, Pepsi, The Rick House, Greenville Utilities, Bms Builders, Sear Chop House, The Gavigan Agency, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, and Greenville Auto World.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Labor Day Monday, everybody. Welcome into our show. We're so glad to have you. We're talking Pirate football. We're going to get you set for the Old Dominion game coming up this week. Of course, East Carolina dropping the opener 21-20 on just a fabulous day for college football. The fans came out, 51,711, a new record crowd at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. So many positives, but just enough negatives to turn this thing into an opening day loss. 21-20, East Carolina falls to the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Donnie Kirkpatrick, the longtime offensive coordinator at East Carolina with 2 different shifts with the Pirates. He's going to join us to talk about the loss and get us ready for the Monarchs of Old Dominion. It's going to be a great holiday Monday, and we're so glad you're with us. Back with more on The Brian Bailey Show after this.
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations. From the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar with daily specials. And here's the lineup. Mondays feature $7 margaritas and half-price appetizers. Tuesday is stuffed seafood night. Wednesday is date night. Thursday is roasted smoked lamb chop night. Fridays is prime rib night. And Saturday is Italian night and is also Fred and Wilma night with our 36-ounce bone-in tomahawk steak just like the Flintstones. And on Sunday is our legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers. They engineer their mowers to be maintenance and service friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. From the heavy-duty frame to the welded steel deck to their trademark smooth track steering, Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers deliver professional grade cut quality for a perfectly manicured lawn. Come into Ron Ayers Motorsports to see the Hustler difference for yourself today. Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Kyle Gaines at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are growing, so is our service department. We're adding more space to provide a faster, more affordable service for you. Come sit down with our team and let us customize your next Jeep or truck. Have the freedom to pick out your own lift, wheels, and tires and more. Drive a little, save a lot when it comes to customizing your next vehicle. We're at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located off 264 West in Washington, North Carolina, and online at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com.
Hi, this is Parker Bunch. When I'm not hitting dingers or going viral, I'm listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back on this Labor Day Monday as we get you set for Old Dominion coming up this week. We take a look back at last weekend's loss to North Carolina State 21-20. Our guest from his office over at East Carolina as he gets set to get the game plan ready to go for Old Dominion. Donnie Kirkpatrick joins us. And Coach, how was the team's reaction when you guys got back together on Sunday?
Well, it was pretty solemn, I would say. It was pretty quiet, I think. This was it was a tough loss. This was a game that we put a lot into, and our kids really worked very hard. And I think that everybody in our purple uniforms, was expecting to win the game, and I think everybody felt like we should have won the game. And so it was really a really tough locker room after the game. The kids took it really hard. I think the next day everybody woke up feeling even worse. But when we did finally gather after they had some weights and they did some workouts and some stuff like that for the meetings, Coach Houston did a great job of telling them that the sun came up this morning and that what's important now is the next game, and that we put that one to bed and we flushed it. And I thought as the practice went on that night that the juice came back a little bit, the excitement started to come back, and then today they're out of class because of the holiday or whatever. Most of them have been over here already this morning, either getting treatment and then getting on some film. And I see that the excitement's back, and I think we're all looking straight ahead.
And you have to. That's one of the adages that coaches go through, and we talked to Coach Houston on his show about it on Sunday, because you cannot let one loss turn into two, can you?
That would be the worst thing you could do, and that does happen in this sport, and as any sport, I think. But, as we told the team, if we had won the game and then we went and lost the game this weekend, we'd be 1-1. So, that would be the same as if we go win this week, we'll be 1-1. And so that's really all it's important. You just kind of play them one at a time. That's the old cliche, but you do have to find some way to focus on that. And like I say, what's in the past, whatever you did last week, you can't let that dictate. Because if you play really, really well, you're just then worried that you're not going to concentrate and focus and take the next team seriously, enough, because you're going to be celebrating the win. So there's always something, and I guess that's why coaches will always have jobs, though, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I think Holton referenced it because obviously he's been around a long time, but it almost has the feel of the 91 season when the Pirates played Illinois. It came back, had a chance to win that football game. There was a bad call at the end, kind of put them behind the 8 ball in their last drive, and they lost that game, and they ran the table after that. And I'm not sitting here saying the Pirates are going to run the table from there because it's a very difficult schedule, but it just has the feeling with the experience that you have at quarterback, with the way this team played. If North Carolina State truly is the 13th ranked team in the country, then you got to think East Carolina's 13A or 13B, don't you?
Well, I like the way you're talking there. Holton's is a veteran. He's older than some of the coaches, I think. So he has been around. He knows East Carolina football for sure as good as anybody. And I had really not thought about the 91 season, having not been here. Shank had thought about it, but really Holton's the first one that brought it up. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize they had lost the first game, and then they went on the run. So, I told the quarterbacks yesterday, let's just make this really a bad loss by going and running the table, and then thinking we could have had an undefeated season. So let's just go try to do that. And, they all agreed that would be a good idea. So can't win them all this week, but what we got to do is we've got a good football team coming in here at ODU, a team that we played a couple of years ago and had a good win, but it was a close, hard-fought win. And I remember them coming down here 1 year before, not 1 year, but the time I was here before with Ruff, and we had a shootout with them, and we were very happy to win that game. So we've got a lot of respect for them. We know a lot of their players because a lot of them are from the Virginia area and the Virginia Beach area, which is a big major recruiting area for us. So we've got a lot of ties with those guys like that and of the players. We're expecting a good crowd again. We're expecting a lot of excitement, and we're expecting to come out with a win this time.
Questions or comments on our Facebook Live feed, and I'll pass them along to Donnie Kirkpatrick. If you had an observation from the 21-20 loss to North Carolina State or a question, I'll be glad to pass those along to the offensive coordinator at East Carolina, Donnie Kirkpatrick, who is our guest on our show today. When you think back to the state game, Coach, let's talk about some of the generalities of the game. The running game, it seemed like State had a really, we knew they were really good up front. Were they even better than maybe you thought?
I don't know that they were better than we thought as coaches, because we had the utmost respect for those guys. They proved that they were as good as we thought they were. This is a North Carolina State team that returned 10 starters on defense, and they were a nationally ranked defense to start with, and so now they got 10 of them back, 1 year bigger, 1 year better, 1 year faster. So we knew this was going to be a challenge. I was concerned that we would be able to run the ball like we would like to be able to run the ball. We threw the ball early for that reason. We tried to throw the ball down the field, for that reason. I do think, though, the second half, though statistically, it won't really show that we ran the ball really well. Our improvement with some halftime adjustments in the run game made the difference. And, I guess we won the second half 13-0. Now you don't get anything for winning the second half. You have to win the whole game. But I thought the running game from the very first series we got the ball, which we drove and scored, we got a couple of runs to pop. And then that kind of started to open some other things up in the pass game. So, we got to work hard on that. Obviously, we got two talented running backs. We're good enough up front. But, really it just kind of came down to their defense is hard to run into. And they were really playing to stop the run. Brian Mitchell, obviously, who was here, with Ruff early in that deal, was a secondary coach, and I visited with him. And, of course, Ruffin, I've had a chance to visit with him and get their thoughts on what they were trying to do and what they thought of us. And the thing that they didn't realize was how good we were at receiver. They probably bought into what everybody else was thinking. And at one time we were thinking we were depleted at receiver. With Audie being gone and Snead being gone, and nobody knew who these new receivers were, Jalen Johnson, Isaiah Winstead. Jalen was at Georgia, but he played mostly on special teams. Isaiah, Norfolk, then Toledo. So they really were stacking the run. They were doing some line stunts and some blitzes that were run stoppers. So we were having one-on-one coverage a lot on the outside. That's why we were able to throw it better. We were able to run it. But I do think the second half we did get a couple runs going, and that kind of pulled some of them back out a little bit. They had to come in and stop the run a little bit, and it opened up some more of the passes. So, again, just compliment, though, to them. They got some really good players.
We got some questions and comments coming in, so let me share some of those with you. Basically, a couple of questions, and I'll rephrase because I'm telling you, the one thing I've learned through social media, and I think I started learning it when Ben Hartman had his problems in the bowl game, but it's like fans will attack on social media, which is the most cowardly way to do anything. I mean, nobody wanted to make that kick any worse than Owen Daffer did, and it was set up to be the Hollywood ending. He had the problems on the extra point, which was really the critical play in my mind. That was the one that really gets you. Field goal kickers are going to miss from time to time, but that extra point has got to be automatic, and it wasn't this time. And we saw last night in a nationally televised game with Florida State and LSU that it wasn't automatic in that game either. But it just baffles me the way people treat people. But how is Owen taking the miss, and how is he going to be able to bounce back, Coach?
He's going to bounce back. Great. He's devastated. He was after the game. We were all devastated for him. We have to remember, he's won some games for us too.
Yeah.
And that no one play wins or loses the game. I don't think there was a player that played or a coach that coached that didn't analyze and think, I could have done this. You make one other throw, and that could have been the difference in 2 points. You make one other block. You make one tackle. We only had 2 penalties. Both penalties hurt us.
Yeah, they did. They were late.
First and 20.
Yeah.
When they weren't stopping us. They didn't stop us very much the second half. And we get a holding penalty, go first and 20. It's a little bit harder to overcome. We had a penalty, but now we only had one, which was great in the special teams, that moved us back 10 yards. How about if we'd have had 10 more yards closer on the field goal? So everybody could go through and look at a situation. That always comes down to the last play when it's a close game like that. So you think, that was the difference. The difference last night wasn't necessarily the extra point. It could have been they could have scored other times, or they could have kept them from scoring. So devastating deal. But what, kickers have to be, if nothing else, mentally tough. And Owen is extremely tough. He was back out on the practice field, really focused out there, working extra hard, you know what I'm saying? I think he went back and probably repeated that kick 100 times, it looked like, out there, on the practice field last night. So I had an opportunity to text with him that night. He responded immediately, so that made me feel good that I knew he was okay. He hadn't gone dark, hadn't gone into a hole. But, the crowd here, it's one of the big positives about being at East Carolina. It's one of the reasons I did come back to East Carolina. It's one of the reasons I told Coach Houston he should take the job at East Carolina, is the passionate fan base. However, the passionate fan base can also turn negative pretty quickly. And you're right, Ben Hartman was the all-time leading scorer in school at the time. And he'd kick field goals that beat the University of North Carolina, which is a really big deal here, because that's who everybody wants to beat. They want to beat them in state. He had won the Hawaii Bowl. He had beat Central Florida with a late kick and the whole bit. He missed the one kick. And you know what? He ain't been back since. And we've lost a great player there that has not come back to the university since then. That's a sad thing.
Yeah.
So great to have fans that are passionate. We want that. That's what makes our place special. We're all a little sometimes guilty of maybe getting things a little out of whack.
Yeah, and it's so unfortunate because, I think back to the Navy game last year, and when he trotted out there to go 54 yards, I was thinking, this has got bad news written all over it. And then he kicks that one, true, and the Pirates win, and it was such a great feel-good story. And then, as I said earlier, this was set up to be the Hollywood ending. He had the problem on the extra point. He gets a chance to redeem himself. And as Coach Houston explained, he kind of overcompensated in that if you've ever played golf and you duck hook one time and you take a mulligan and you overcompensate, you're heading right, and that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, it would have been a great ending. Obviously, there's no better way really to beat your rival than to win one like at the end. We could see on the film the student section was already getting ready and getting in position.
They were coming,
rushing the field. You could see the police were already getting lined up down there too. So it would have been one of those ones that would have been in the hallways and the pictures. Say it would have been talked about forever. I told Holton, I said, we called too good a play. You ran too good. We should have kept it back a little bit further. It was too close. You know what I'm saying? He likes them a little bit longer in those situations. Sometimes that takes a little bit of the pressure off. But, yeah, we're proud of the team, though, for the way we rallied, the way we didn't get defeated. Because at halftime, I thought there was a little bit of that look in their faces when I got down from the press box. And kind of came out the second half. We got a great stop on defense. We drove it. We scored. We're back in it. The excitement came back. I thought we might have been a little bit better shape the second half condition-wise. Big John does a great job of getting our kids ready like that. And of course, Coach Houston pushes them through the heat, through the humidity, in preseason camp. And I thought we had them worn down. It was a shame we had one other good drive there going that we didn't get points on. So, we had what we call the hurry field goal. All the kids were just so locked in. They executed the plan. They believed in the plan. Every Thursday, the very last thing we do at practice is we have a 2-minute offense against defense, and we practice driving the ball in those situations where we're down like 2 points, and we work to get that hurry field goal, and we go out there, and it was just like we were back on the practice field. Unfortunately, the football gods this time just did not bless us with that kick to go in, and we just got to figure it's setting up something bigger and better down the road.
Donnie Kirkpatrick, offensive coordinator. We've got more questions and comments coming in on our Facebook Live feed, so keep those coming. We'll take a commercial break right now, take a little breather. Back with more with Coach K right after this.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville. The Pirates have the day off as they head into week 2 of the season and prepare for Old Dominion to come to Greenville this weekend. The ECU Players Lounge returns to PRL this afternoon beginning at 3 o'clock, and we'll talk to players Rajay Harris, Xavier Smith, Miles Berry, Jeremy Lewis, Ryan Jones, Keaton Mitchell, Zay Winstead, and quarterback Holton Nailers. Florida State spoiled Brian Kelly's debut as head coach at LSU by beating them 24-23 last night in New Orleans. LSU rallied from 14 points down in the fourth quarter, but a blocked extra point sealed the victory for the Seminoles. Old Dominion, along with law enforcement, is investigating a report that items were stolen from the Virginia Tech locker room during their 20-17 loss to the Monarchs on Friday night. And the Dallas Cowboys have added 40-year-old Jason Peters to their practice squad. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
Pirate fans, don't miss out on another exciting Saturday at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium as East Carolina plays host to the Monarchs of Old Dominion. ECU will be looking to make it 4-0 all-time against ODU. Tickets in the lower bowl are on sale for as low as $30, and you can get a great seat in the upper deck for as low as $20. Don't wait because tickets are going fast. Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com. It's the Monarchs and the Pirates at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
At US Cellular, any phone you see is free, whether you're a new or current customer. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
This is Stephen Igo, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. Donnie Kirkpatrick, offensive coordinator at East Carolina, joining us live from his office over on the campus at East Carolina. Lots of questions coming in on our Facebook live feed. Coach, I know Holton went down early. You came in he came out for one play. What's his status? Is he okay? I know he had an MRI yesterday. Have you heard anything more? Is he okay?
Oh yeah, he's fine. He is he's a tough young man. I don't know if there's anybody tougher that I've ever been around in a football uniform than Holton Ahlers. Mentally and physically, and you know what, he takes a pounding sometimes. Quarterbacks do that. I always tell them you got to be the toughest player on the field because it's kind of like the famous poet Rocky Balboa said. It's not about how hard you can hit; it's about how hard you can get hit and keep getting back up. And so the quarterbacks are in a vulnerable position, in that pocket sometimes, and have to take a hit. He did an unbelievable job of doing that. We didn't take a sack this game, which was good for us because we've struggled a little bit with that the last couple of years. He really stayed in the pocket, though, but he did get a little bit banged up there, just a little bit on a scramble, on a run, and made a key first down on. But, he was back in one play, and he was back out there yesterday, and he's already been in the office all morning in here watching film and talking football, and he's excited and ready to go.
All right, Donnie, we got a lot of questions coming in about the fourth quarter. First of all, a couple of questions about the 4th and 4 call, 5:53 to play. The Pack brings pressure, and I watched it again this morning to make sure I had everything figured out. But the Pack brought 5, and Holton goes deep down the left sideline, incomplete. But and were there 4 vertical routes going on that play?
No. Well, I tell you what, it's one of the things you always have some things that keep you awake, and that was one of the key series I really do think that I wished I had back. We were in a 3rd and 4, and they brought 7 on the 3rd and 4, and we had a route called that we would need to throw hot on. And you know what? And our kids really knew the game plan. I really thought it was one of the better things we did, and that they knew it. Really stayed with what they did. That's the good thing about playing a team that's had success the year before. They don't change much because you don't want to do that. They did bring one new blitz there, and we missed the hot. We tried to throw the wheel route, which was going to be open. We just couldn't wait long enough to let it come open. And then on the 4th and 4, we really have its choice routes. So you either go deep or you hook up. It really depends on how the defender plays you. And so we got press coverage on both receivers to the field, so they had to go deep. You're not going to be open short. They're covering you short. We did have softer coverage back to the boundary. I wish we had thrown to the boundary. Holton wishes he had thrown to the boundary now, too. Would have been an easier throw. And I really felt like, I wished I'd have just given him a better situation. I'll put that one on me because I really thought at that point they weren't stopping us. That is the drive that we had gotten to 1st and 20 because of the holding call, and overcome that with a really good run by him on the quarterback draw. So I wish I could have put us in a better situation there. I wish we could have read that better. And I really think that was a key game. So that's a good observation for whoever brought that one up.
And the defense obviously played lights out that second half. But those two goal line stands, as Coach Houston said afterwards, if the Pirates had won that game, those two goal line stands would have been, some of the greatest defensive plays in Pirate history. And they still were, but they just won't be remembered because East Carolina didn't come up with the victory in the game. But then you get Jairo Wilson comes up with the pick, with the interception, and you got another shot at it.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is that the goal line stands were awesome. I was as fired up as anybody was. That's the hardest part of my job is when we do something like that. The press box erupted. Of course, obviously the stands were shaking, at that point right there. Everybody, the players were so excited, not just defense players, offensive players were excited. The kickers are excited. It's just such a great job by our defense to keep them out of the end zone. And the thing was, I was trying to say to the guys on the headset, and they could not hear me. We have to now take the ball. We're on the 1 yard line. We have to get this out of here, or we're going to give them points right back. And it was really hard to get anybody to listen. It was a little bit like last night. I think when LSU scored, everybody was celebrating that, and I thought, now the kicker's saying, hey, y'all got to calm down. We have to make this kick right here. And nobody cares about that. They assume the game's tied. And I was just like, it was the hardest thing to get the personnel out there. Literally, it was so loud they said they couldn't hear me on the headset, even the ones that had the two earphones to it as well. We've got to get that out of there, out of that. We got it out of. We had 3 of those in the game. Unfortunately, we were able to get it out twice. We were not able to get it out the one time, so that was tough. But then, the interception was a key play, obviously, in the game because we've got the good field position, and then we were able to go score. And at that point, I just think that's why we all thought we should have won the game because we had all the momentum, we had all the energy. Our kids were just playing great in the second half.
Something that I didn't ask Coach Houston, and I thought about when I got home, but was there any thought of going for 2, or was it, and you're playing at home, you got the momentum, the extra point should be automatic, you just kick it and go from there?
Yeah, there's always those conversations going on throughout the game, and we have some analytic type things that we use as well because you got to figure out the scenarios and what gives you the best chance to win, just based on the odds, and the time has the determining factor on that. So Coach Houston and me had been on the headset talking. If it would have been down to around 1 minute or something, we were going to go for 2, but we had enough time and we had the timeouts. That's the key. Is that we were able to kill the clock, so the situation and everything analytically said, kick it, use your timeouts. One of the other toughest things on the offense is this thing called this 4-minute offense, and it puts a lot of pressure on the team then that has the lead, okay, you're backed up, you got to eat the clock up, but you can't screw up, you can't turn it over here, whatever, and because we had the timeouts, we could call them, put a lot of pressure on them. They couldn't run the clock out. So the right move was to kick it at that time. If it had been less time, we were definitely going for 2 because we were playing to win. We weren't playing to tie. We were playing to win the game.
Wow, that's fascinating because we were talking about it on the sideline. I was like, no, you're at home, you got all the momentum, kick the extra point, send this game to overtime if you need to. The defense is playing so well, but that's great. That's great information. Pirates going to go for 2. As Steve Logan always said, when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. And Mike Houston believes in that theory, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we didn't have very many 4th downs. We only had the 1 4th down in this game. It just didn't play itself out. We made 1st downs on 3rd down, which has been one of the big things for offensively after last season. There were 2 areas that we said we've got to improve on to take this to the next level. One of them was our 3rd downs. As everybody knows, we struggled with some 3rd downs now. We were struggling because we were in too many 3rd and longs. Well, North Carolina State, when we looked at all the statistical deals when we started to break them down this summer, they were one of the best 3rd down defenses in the country. In fact, they were ranked 5th in the nation last year on 3rd downs. So they only gave up like 28% of the 3rd down conversion. So it was going to be a great matchup. Now, the reason they were so good was because they got people in 3rd and long. The reason we had been poor the year before is because we were in too many 3rd and longs. So we've been trying to stay out of that, going for it, and trying to sequence a little bit better and taking the 4 downs. And this time we did good, so we didn't have many 4th downs. But we're trying to be aggressive like that. You still have to play it smart, though. And again, I don't remember exactly what the time was. I know we got the ball back, though, with 2 minutes and 27 seconds to go, and that's a good 2-minute offense when you got that much time. So Coach was right in his decision, no question about that.
So what was your thinking when you've got the ball with 2:27, handling the clock and going down the field like you did? Another question that came up was why not try to get the ball spotted in the middle of the field? And my thought on that is you're trying to get on that last play, Holton's just trying to get as much as he can get, as close as he can get to make the field goal that much easier, and you're really not thinking about where you're landing at, right?
Well, these are all great things, and these are what coaches sit around and we do. We spend a lot of time talking about this all the time. We had an early discussion today away from ODU about the game last night because there were so many different clock management things that happened in that game last night. Here's the whole deal. The 2-minute offense, we have a formula, and this formula has been very proven. It's worked very well for us. Last year we had 4 2-minute offensive situations. We scored on out of 6. The one we didn't score on, or one of the two, was when we threw the Hail Mary against Appalachian, which they said we scored a touchdown, and they reviewed it, took it away, which we still don't understand that. We really should have been 5 or 6. So the formula works. You need 1 second per yard, however many you need to go. I think we were on the 30-yard line, so we need 70 seconds to stay on schedule, meaning that we can run the ball a little bit, we can drop the ball off to the running backs, we can take what the defense gives us. Once you get behind that formula, you've got to make a chunk play. You've kind of got to get the ball downfield. You got to make a bigger play. So we start off, we always just want to get the ball moving in the 2-minute offense like that, because then it becomes a no huddle, and I think it puts more pressure on the defense to get lined up and try to defend you. If you throw incomplete or you don't get a good run or something, then the defense kind of gains the advantage as you start to lose the downs and the time. So Holton does a great job. He comes out, he hits the back out of the backfield. It's a modest gain. Okay, but we're still above the 2-minute, okay? So we got a little bit of, he gets out of bounds, but you got to hurry up. They only keep the clock stopped until they get the ball spotted. But we get it rolling, so we get to kick into the 2-minute. We catch them in 2-man coverage, okay? 2 deep, everybody's playing man underneath. We run 4 verticals with the back working an HBO, which stands for halfback option route. He can go either way. Hard route to cover for a linebacker. We got a total mismatch with Keaton. So he hits it. He almost takes it to the house, gets knocked out of bounds. It actually put us way ahead of the clock management situation, a little bit more than you expect. So because we were so far ahead and we were right on Owen's depth for his kicks, 30 and in, he's pretty high percentage. Once we're inside the 25, he's 78% going to make it, okay, is what he's rated as. So really, at that point, you're thinking, well, he's going to win the game. We're going to probably play somewhat for the field goal because you don't want to throw an interception.
Right.
You want to take a sack. You don't want to get a bunch of penalties and just beat yourself. So we ran 2 running plays just trying to get 3-4 yards, 2-3 more each one. The one run was pretty good. The second one, we had a bust. And unfortunately, that's something that happens. Guy blocked the wrong guy, went the wrong way, and we took a tackle for a loss. So we went with the quarterback draw because you do want to get the ball more in the middle of the field. The play is designed to go up the middle, the quarterback draw. The ones we had run, we'd run 2 previous ones in the game, okay? They both had gone up the middle. And this one, they ran a different stunt, and it forced the ball to bounce outside. Holton did a great job of reading the running lane, and he had to run to the left. But he also got 9 yards, which put us to the 24, which, again, like I say, now his kicking rate went way up. And so, you know what? They don't all have to have him exactly in the middle. He doesn't really have a preference that much. So it was a place we felt like he could have kicked it there, but it just didn't work out.
No, it didn't. It was a storybook ending to be, but it just didn't happen. And now the Pirates have to put that game behind them, and Old Dominion comes to town. The Monarchs beat Virginia Tech Friday night, so we'll talk about that coming up as we continue on. Donnie Kirkpatrick, fascinating conversation with the offensive coordinator of East Carolina, and it continues on this Labor Day Monday after this.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
Sear Chop House is Greenville's only true chop house. We're open 7 days a week. Seared combines a remarkable menu with an unrivaled atmosphere. Lunch or dinner at Seared is a quality-driven experience where we highlight a thoughtful approach to locally sourced ingredients and hearty, flavor-rich cuisine. We're firing up the grill at Seared, Greenville's only true chop house, located on Fire Tower Road at Bell's Fork. Come see us at Seared 7 days a week.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled-to-perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Bms Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With homes in Blackwood, Mills Creek, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, they're constantly expanding. Now to Laurel Glen and Sarah's Way, plus the new duplex community at Abigail Trails. Bms Builders can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or ECU football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. Call 916-1578 for Bms Builders.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenvilleautoworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Donnie Kirkpatrick, offensive coordinator at East Carolina, our guest on this holiday Monday, getting you set for East Carolina and Old Dominion, 6 o'clock kickoff this week at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. All right, Coach, I got one question that it bugs me every time I see it, and I wonder why teams do this. When you've got the football at the half-yard line or the 1 yard line and teams go into the shotgun, is it because teams just don't go under center very much at all, so you don't want to chance it? Or what is it? Because you go back 4 yards to try to gain one, and I've always questioned that.
Well, I would say that's a good question, too, that we do discuss quite a bit as well. I do think it's got several answers. You're right. One is that a team like us, which is pretty common now in college football, we are primarily all shotgun. So you don't get under, you don't have a lot of plays from under. So that would limit you to what you could run. The other thing, I guess, is, if you're underneath center, and unless the quarterback runs the ball in the sneak, he does take the ball backwards to the running back. So it's the same difference. You're getting it, you're already back, and then you're moving forward, which is easier to do and much quicker. Because, like I say, the quarterback has to turn around and take it back to the running back. If you take it, you're still taking it back off the line of scrimmage. We were in a situation there, and we did end up scoring, but we were probably a half-yard line, like you say. What we originally tried to do, or I wanted to do, was run the quarterback sneak with Holton, who's been really good at that.
Yeah, yes.
South Florida got us last year. That was the only time we had a little bit of a miscue right there. North Carolina State runs a very similar defense to like what Cincinnati does. they're in this odd front, and they got a nose that is up there smelling what the center had for breakfast. And the North Carolina State is really good at it too. And so going into the game, I had said, and Coach Houston had told me as well, we'll probably need to be a little smart about when to use the quarterback sneak because, they got such a good nose, and he's right up there on the center, and that's not the best situation. And that's kind of what had happened in South Florida. So originally I was still going to call it because it was so darn close, but then we decided to run a run play, and we did. We got an all-out blitz. Holton checked the one play and threw it to CJ, who CJ made a great play. That probably wasn't our best decision to throw that ball at that time. But that's why we didn't get up under, because really that's what we would have probably have done is run the sneak. And their defense is just really kind of set up to play that pretty well. So we tried to run another quarterback run there that they did a great job at just smashing us. We missed a block or two there at tight end, though that still always kind of comes back to just execution. It's a game of blocking and tackling. And then we threw the little spider play that's kind of famous in the West Coast offense there to Shane, so we got away with it. But, yeah, that's probably a lot more than you wanted for that answer right there, but that's what I got.
How much did Holton check off during the game? I mean, how many times did he change the play at the line of scrimmage?
Quite a bit in different ways. We had quite a bit of play at the line, which we have packages of things to where we call a play that has three different plays to it. So, North Carolina State runs a lot of different complex, different schemes defensively. And again, they're such a veteran defense, they can execute all those. So there was quite a bit of plays where he would come up and look to the weak side or the open side. And if we got the look we wanted to run that play, we would run it. If he didn't get that look, he would run the ball, play the opposite play to the other side. And then if they were in a blitz, which they do a lot, there was a third choice, which is a better blitz play. With all those three plays there is an RPO, a run-pass option, that is built in. So he would always have the option if they didn't cover down one of the receivers closely, if that was what we would call a gimme, meaning you literally can take it and throw it and he can catch it, and they're not defending that play really, he can take the option to go throw the ball. So that was a big part of the game plan because they line up to one formation in about 3 or 4 different ways, and that way we could get the best play call. Now, the run games didn't really seem to pop on that, so it didn't seem to work, but it was a really good plan. He did throw some of the RPOs that were good and were successful. Then there were some other situations where he just had to get us out of a play that was bad play, mainly because of a blitz or a stunt like that too. And then there are pass plays where we just call maybe a protection, and then we put a word on it that tells him versus this look, go to this pass, versus this, go to this version of it, or he's got about 3 choices. He did a really good job with that. He does a great job with that. He gets us in a lot of that. Another big part of what he has to do is that he has to get the defense ID'd, as we say. And that's the thing about the blitzes is they can always bring one more guy than you can block with because he has the ball. So they actually have us outnumbered 11-10 when you look at it like that. That's the same for everybody. But if you can read the blitz and you can tell the line which way to slide and tell the back which way to go, you can pick up their blitzes. And we were perfect on that. He was perfect on that, except for the one time they had one new look, and that was the one on the 3rd and 4 that they brought a look. And we had a left guard who had nobody to block because we got it ID'd in a way that wasn't the correct one, and that was no fault of his. We had never seen him do that, and that happens in a game always at some point. Everybody has something new. We have a new play that they didn't see, that they did not been able to scout as well. Everybody does that. So he's got a lot going on out there mentally.
Coach, we got a question coming in about the transfers at receiver. I think they struggled a little bit early, but they came on in the second half, didn't they?
Yeah, that's a great question, too. I will have to say the people that call in your show are the intelligent fans. they ask good questions out there. I don't know about that other show.
I appreciate that.
It might be because it's the difference between you and Billy Weaver, though.
Oh, there you go.
Still, Billy. I'm just kidding there, Bill. You know we love you because you're a Redskins fan. What was the question? Oh, the question about the wideouts. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, I thought we dropped some balls in the first half. And you know what? I think the transfer guys or whatever, were probably part of that. I think maybe they were a little bit keyed up, to be honest with you. It was a big moment for them. They were pretty emotional about it. The crowd was just so good, and the atmosphere was just so good, and the game was just so big to our players and to our fans that I think maybe we did have a little bit of the jitters. I thought once they got banged around a little bit and then they kind of calmed down, I had a script in the game plan to try to get a lot of different guys to touch the ball so we could get everybody kind of in the groove a little bit, try to get Keaton the ball, try to get Raji the ball, try to get Isaiah the ball, try to get CJ the ball, Shane the ball. We got a lot of different guys, and that's a good thing, but sometimes you got to be careful about that too. So I was trying to spread it around a little bit, but I think once the Isaiah kind of got a couple of catches, he had that one touchdown drive. He was just unstoppable, and that was one of the things that I'd said earlier was Coach McNeil and Coach Mitchell both had said we didn't know about the transfer, we didn't know how good they were, we had no way of knowing that. So we were stopping the run, and then once y'all started throwing it to them, that really gave us some concern there. So I think they'll be settled down. Hopefully they will be right from the get-go, and I think you're going to see some really good play out of those guys.
I thought CJ playing in the slot like he did, he brings a new dimension. It's different than what we've had in the past. He's bigger, stronger, so when he catches the football and makes that spin move, he can break a tackle. Yeah,
I can't say enough good about CJ right now, though we kind of jokingly say we're just not going to talk about CJ because it seems to be going better. We right. Play low-key with him a little bit. But I went to him early, and I told him before the game the first play was designed for it to go to him. It was an option route. He made a good choice there, and Holton threw a dime there, put it right away from the defender, and then he makes a short throw into a nice little bit game because he does have that strength. He's got those strong hands. He's ability to catch the ball in his hands. And, he's playing the position that Tyler Snead's been playing for us the last couple of years. They are totally different.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of redefined that position a little bit. But we've always, had those guys we call the H receivers be successful. Dwayne Harris played that for us years ago, and CJ's like Dwayne in that they're so darn strong. They can run through tackles. They can break tackles. They can catch balls that are contested or in tight areas. So the position has kind of gone back to a little bit more the way it was when we had Dwayne.
Another question just came in about why does East Carolina not have a designated quarterback coach? You work with the QBs, right, Coach?
Yeah, we got one. So that good questions there. Blew that one.
Donnie Kirkpatrick. I don't list him as a quarterback coach. I list him as the offensive coordinator. All right, now Virginia Tech and Old Dominion played on Friday night, and as we go to break, I watched most of the second half of that game while we were getting ready for high school football coverage on Touchdown Friday, and I couldn't figure out if both teams had great defenses or both teams had bad offenses. So we'll talk about that with Donnie Kirkpatrick as we close out our show in our last little segment. Back to wrap things up with Coach K after this.
Make a splash with Bassett Trimble Summer Savings from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Hot looks, cool styles. Kick back, relax, and upgrade your seats and save. Buy any regular price Bassett recliner, sofa, or sectional and get $50 to $150 off every additional seat with free local delivery plus 12 months special financing. Shop our wide selection on in-stock bedrooms, dining rooms, and other living rooms. And save the sales tax and get free local delivery now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better brace yourself because this right here is a Papa John's Papa Bowl. No crust, just piping hot toppings and melty cheese in an oven-baked bowl. Better ingredients, better pizza, now in a bowl, Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, brace yourself for the brand new Papa Bowls for only $7.99. The new Papa Bowls are an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
It's bow time. Why are Bojangles Chicken Supremes called Supremes? Well, with golden crispy chicken tenderloins this juicy, tender, and full of bold flavor, what else would you call them? Superbs? Nah, that would be weird. Get your Chicken Supremes combo today with a scratch-made biscuit, your choice of fixin', legendary iced tea, and have you heard there's a new sauce in town? Try our new creamy buffalo sauce when you get a Chicken Supremes combo today. It's bow time.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 five-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. If you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home, Wings Over Greenville has you covered with no third party needed. Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Be sure to try the all-new tender sandwiches by ordering ahead on the Wings Over mobile app. Open till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, Wings Over has everything to cure those late night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
Pirate. Once a child wants to spell.
P is for pirate. R is for radio.
Speak and spell.
That is correct.
Radio.
You are right. I'm learning a lot, really.
Pirate.
Pirate Radio.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back on this Labor Day Monday. Back to wrap things up with Donnie Kirkpatrick, the offensive coordinator at East Carolina. All right, Coach, as we went to break, I was talking about Virginia Tech and Old Dominion. Were they great defenses we saw, or bad offenses, or a combination?
You know, I'm not sure how to answer that. I will say this. ODU's pretty good on defense, and I'm sure Virginia Tech is as well. I kind of stay in my own lane. I don't really watch it the other way as much. I didn't get an opportunity to watch the game on TV, but I have watched it, obviously, on the film. And, you know, yeah, they're probably good on defense is what I would probably think. And because I know that there's some talent on their offenses as well over there. So we're expecting a good defense to come in here. Again, Coach Harrell can tell you about the offense a little bit more, but they got some really good talent, especially up front. They've got just some guys that can run and hit, and yeah, they got a good solid scheme. And you know, we got one game on them from this year, so it's one game better than we had last week. We've watched a lot of the stuff from last year. The thing that concerns me is they didn't really run the same defense that they ran last year. So now you're not sure, was that just because they were playing Virginia Tech? They were in a different scheme, you know, so you don't know what to study as well. And that's always a case, though, early in the season. So we'll just concentrate mostly on us, trying to correct our mistakes, trying to play a little bit better. The key for us offensively is we got to score more points. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Score more points, we'll win.
Yeah, and I think when you look at your side of the football, obviously you want to get those running backs going. You want to try to, you know, pop a couple there and you just try to establish things, because when you can get that running game going, that opens up so many things down the field. And I think that, you know, as you said, NC State, they may be a step above most teams in the country on that defensive line. So I think we'll see a little bit of different things right there with Old Dominion. And this is another one of those games that really, it should be played a lot. Like State and East Carolina should play every year. Old Dominion and East Carolina, they're 2 hours apart. I mean, it could become a really nice rivalry. We've had really good games with the Monarchs so far, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, and I hope that our people will have that respect for ODU. You know, I know that, and I grew up in this state, and I grew up in this region, so I know that, you know, the ACC schools are the deal, and everybody wants to play them, and that's such of a rival for us, and that was great because the buzz really helped our players, I think, to prepare and play well and have that energy. I hope we will continue to do that again this week because, again, this is just as big a game in the end. And then every week they get bigger and bigger, and you get into the conference as well. And so we're looking to have a great atmosphere again. I was really, really super pumped about the Pirate support last week. You know, this staff had come in, and, of course, me and Misty had been here before, and the staff used to always say to us, you know, you used to always talk about what great crowds and what great atmosphere it was there. I don't see that. And then this week they all came up to her and said, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're right. I do see it. Now, the pandemic hurt some of that.
Right.
We'll blame some of it on that. There's some other things, though, probably don't have as good an excuse. So we need to keep that atmosphere going. I know we got a 4-game homestand, which I know the fans don't love. Well, we kind of like it. It's going to be good to be back home again. We got to defend the turf here, and we got to start getting it where we don't lose at home. And that's our job. We got to coach them better. We got to play better. And I think it's going to all start this week. We'll have a lot of recruits here again this week. I know one thing that really helped our recruiting last week.
I'd say.
All blown away. They were all blown away. The kids were, and we got a lot of guys ready to jump on board just based on they came and saw what big-time college football looks like.
That was my next question, Coach. How does that atmosphere on Saturday against North Carolina State compare with some of the big-time atmospheres, you know, when you guys were winning Conference USA championships and that kind of thing?
You know, it reminded me of back when we were rolling really, really well, and you know that was great just to feel that and just feel the excitement. I just know I was so happy for our players. I was happy for those guys like Holton and his class that had come through really some hard times, some really negative times here, and like I say, the pandemic obviously added to that, playing in front of really an empty stadium. And, you know, they came here, you know, like Holton had been here a lot. Those other guys were recruited based on really good crowds when we were winning 9 and 10 games and, you know, competing for conference championships and stuff like that. So they had not gotten a chance to really experience that very much, but they sure do now. And I know they're excited about the rest of the season.
Yeah, kind of a similar atmosphere when the Pirates put 70 on the heels that day. That was a magical day at Dowdy Ficklin, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. There's some great memories of that game, and you know, I'd reflected back on the memories of when we, you know, when Magazoo picked off Russell there, you know, being there for all those type of things too. So that's why I say there's always been that great atmosphere for the Carolina and the North Carolina states. You know, we need that atmosphere, though, all the time. That's what you have at Alabama. That's what you have at South Carolina. That's what you have at those SEC-type schools like that. Don't matter who you're playing. You know what I'm saying? The stands are going to be swaying, is what we used to say when I was at South Carolina. And they have a tremendous program there, and we do too. We do too. We got the best of the best right here. There's nothing better than being a Pirate, and obviously we're just really fired up about this season. We flushed the last week. We'll brood over that after the bowl game this year about how we coulda, shoulda, woulda, or whatever. But hopefully we'll have a lot of good memories from this season because this senior class deserves it.
Old Dominion on the clock. The Monarchs and the East Carolina Pirates coming up at 6 o'clock on Saturday at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Coach, your final thoughts on Old Dominion. What's the key on offense for this Pirate football team?
We got to score more points. You know, that's the key right there. Is we do got to get the run game going. We got to get it all going. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gives me great advice. Some say throw it every time. Some say run it all the time. You know, I just say just go score, just go win. So that's what it comes down to. Is you have to do somewhat what the defense is giving you. Otherwise, you're running uphill or you're pounding salt a little bit too. So we have the ability to be balanced, to do both. That's what we got to do. We got to eliminate those turnovers too. Wasn't, you know, very pleased with those. The one throw probably just happens. The other one was a mistake there where the quarterback receiver weren't on the same page. So we got to clean those things up. And you know, usually your biggest improvement is from week 2, from week 1. So if we can do that, it should be a good Saturday night.
Donnie, thanks so much for the time, man. Fascinating conversation. We certainly appreciate you. We've appreciated you for a long, long time here at East Carolina, and you do a great job. Looking forward to Saturday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right, Donnie Kirkpatrick, offensive coordinator, joining us here on the Brian Bailey Show on this Labor Day Monday. Pirates and the Monarchs, 6 o'clock on Saturday. Get your butt to Daddy Ficklin Stadium because that football team put on a great show despite the 21-20 loss, and it should be a great atmosphere again at the Fick coming up on Saturday night. We'll see you back here next week on the Brian Bailey Show.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, and also brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Papa John's, Pepsi, The Rick House, Greenville Utilities, Bms Builders, Sear Chop House, The Gavigan Agency, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, and Greenville Auto World.
Join us next week for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, right here on Pirate Radio.